Tony's always late. So we don't really have like an agenda to talk about tonight, but I figured let Tony speak a little bit about um what he sees in the current market conditions, what that might mean for our token launch, and I'll bounce some ideas in between. And we were maybe gonna have Low Key Citizen, Chris, the co-founder, on tonight, but he is on vacation, so he wasn't sure if he'd be able to make it in. So, um, I pinged him. We'll see if he comes through. Uh, I know he doesn't really make it to these very often, but I think everyone would enjoy if he stopped through. So, if he does, great. If he doesn't, no big deal. He wanted to make an appearance tonight. It's just happened to be a bad week for him. Still waiting on Tony. I'm not sure if we'll see Julian pop in tonight. It's a 12-hour differential for him, so sometimes he can make it that early in the morning for him. Sometimes he can't. That's true, Splat. He does. Um, I sacrificed my username. I don't think that's how the vesting works. We have to wait for token launch. Where is Tony? I remember one time I was late to an AMA with Tony on Discord, and he wouldn't let it go. I was putting my son to sleep. Tony's probably just at another dinner meeting or something and talking too much. Um, I don't want to keep everyone waiting forever, so I guess I could start. Um, not with Parker tonight, not this time. Um, I feel like Tony just goes to dinner with anyone, could be his wife, and then just says he's at a dinner meeting because he's not wrong, but it sounds way cooler than I'm out to dinner with my wife. Oh, I'm at a dinner meeting. Oh, Tony's doing something important. Not that dinner with your wife is not important, of course it is, but you know what I mean. Um, so while we wait, I guess, obviously token presale has started. If you are holding an NFT, you can mint your ammo or token. Um, a lot of chatter around like legality stuff, guys. I'm not an expert on that. All I can tell you is, um, this opinion I'm about to state is that of my own. It's not related to Warrior Alliance, but it's really bullshit. How you can't participate in, depending on where you live, gaming IDOs, but you can participate in other types of pre-sale. So that part's kind of stupid, and that's where we have to be very careful with the legality stuff. I see Tony came in. I'll bring him on up here. Hopefully his mic is functioning properly tonight. That's why it's like most people don't take it seriously. I know when you're dealing with anything, legality wise, you have to take it seriously, but it's silly that participating in IDOs is something some people can't do, but they can do and participate in other things. Um, Decentralization is one of the reasons we all like crypto, I think. Um, Being the fact that this is kind of like an unregulated space, or at least that's how it started, and that's why it attracted so many people. And a lot of people that operate in this space don't like to play by the kind of rule. It's kind of like a stiff to the small investor, right? So like if you want to trade stocks and you want to day trade, well, you need an account size of $25,000 to be able to do that, which is silly. So a lot of people turn to crypto because you have the ability. What's up, Tony?
Up for the night?
Yeah,
Up for the night? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep. A lot of people turn to crypto because you have the ability to day trade as much as you want. There's no limit to your wallet size. You can start with $100 and turn it into $100,000 if you're smart enough. And then, as time went on, it's gotten more and more regulated. So that's why so many people have such a negative opinion towards these recent laws that have been imposed on participating in IDOs and IGOs. And but for that reason, obviously we have to cover ourselves. We do have a disclaimer. Before you execute your transaction, it pops up on MetaMask. When you sign the transaction, it gives you our terms and conditions. Now it's up to you always, whatever you do with your money or anything in life. This isn't anything that should be a shock to you guys. It's up to you guys to make sure whatever you're doing in your day-to-day life, not just with Warrior Alliance, operates within legal boundaries, or whatever your personal rules for yourself are. I know a lot of people, depending on where you're from, can't really get involved in crypto anyway legally. A lot of people obviously still do that because some people don't agree with that and don't want to follow those rules. And you can have your own personal opinion on that, but that's just the reality of it. Crypto is, as much as people think it's unregulated, is still regulated in a lot of areas. Some countries is completely illegal to touch crypto altogether. In some of the 50 states, you can't do certain chains. You can't, do Binance. And I'm in New York. They make Binance like nearly impossible. Technically, you're not supposed to trade Binance anything on the BNB network. So there's a lot of weird rules, and that's why to protect ourselves, we have to put up that disclaimer. It's up to you guys to make the decision on.
Josh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
I just know there's some questions around that, so I wanted to set the record straight. The reason we don't have a disclaimer on the website, on the transaction sign, in Discord, is because if we need to make an amend or change anything, it's better to change it in one spot. And also, is in dealing with anything legality wise, we're given instructions. We excuse me, it's better to stick to those instructions and not go overboard. Usually less is more when it comes to protecting yourself in a legal sense. So we did the disclaimer where we need to have it, and like anything else in crypto, and it's up to people to decide how they'd like to use their money. So Tony, welcome.
How you doing? How's it going, everybody? I wanted to come in and do a Tony talk. Launched the token. You know, so
You're a little hard to hear, Tony.
yeah,
It's like you're too far away from a microphone or something. That's kind of the sound.
how about we talk now? Is that better?
No, it's a little messed up.
Can you hear me now?
Can you guys hear Tony? Or is it just me? Everyone's
Mhm.
saying it's rough. That sounded a little better.
That's better. You got to put my glasses on. No, I gotta get a new fan, man. I have an 11. I gotta get a 13. That's okay. Um, Charles, can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Nah, it's bad again.
I understand.
What are you
Okay.
using? Headphones or something
Using,
or?
yeah, I have to. I'm using Beats. Maybe where I'm at, though, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if I come over here, it'll be a little bit. Can you hear me clearly here?
It sounds a little better right there.
Okay. So we launched a token. Obviously, we knew that it wasn't going to go as good as we expected because right now, crypto is through the fucking floor. I mean, everything is absolutely right now. Everybody knows it. Everybody's hurting. Not only you guys, but everybody in the entire crypto world is hurting, including the biggest names out there. Your board is down literally 80%. Silky, they're down like I don't even know what I'm percentage. So, the bottom line is, guys, I want to show you that we're still here. I'm still here working. I just finished filling up the phone with Darren for the title. My biggest concern right now, the token, are in a really bad bear market, so we have to put the token out there for you guys. You guys start staking, get some liquidity for the token. Um, but I hope you understand that I'm smart enough to know, and you guys should be smart enough to know that because the way the market is right now, this is a long game, and this is what I've been telling you guys from the get go, that this project is a long game. The game is still getting done. Um, doesn't matter what happens, the game will get done, regardless of the matter. I don't give a fuck what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the game is gonna get done, and your money that you've invested into this somehow, some way, I will not stop. I will be relentless, and I will not stop until everybody gets what they came for. Right? Um, I don't wanna. I don't wanna end up giving you promises that I won't be able to keep or anything like that. But I'm not. I'm not gonna stop. I cannot control the crypto. I can't. There's nothing I can do. Nobody can, right? So the only thing that we can do
It's
is
getting it's getting bad again, Tony.
get
It,
shit.
it hasn't been good this whole time, but now it's getting worse.
Can you hear what I'm saying though? Like, can you
No,
understand me?
sometimes you can. Other times it's just like you put your phone in the other room and you're trying to talk through a cup.
So, it's fucking reasonable.
I don't know how else to word it, but if you ever made a telephone with string and pong cups,
Well, it might be these beats that I'm using. It's not be good for. Can you hear me now?
like I heard, can you hear me now? But nothing before that.
I know. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's good right now. I hope it stays like
Right
that.
now? I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna stay right here. So pretty much what I was saying is that we're still in the game, and there's nothing that we can do about crypto, bro. Nothing. America right now is a catastrophe. Regardless of the matter, I will not stop. I talked to Byron today. We're going to phase two. Just showed me on the basic environment, not the finished product, but the basic environment. So we're going to phase two. We're going to show them the characters and all these different things.
It's bad again, Tony. I don't know what's going on.
So, man, just nothing I can do
I
about
don't know
that.
if it's the headphones or your area. It's hard. I know. I don't know what the problem is. I know what you're trying to say. I can tell where you're going. Um, so I can paraphrase for you, but
Well, you know exactly what I want to say, Josh. Go ahead and say it. Just let them know, that we're still here and we're building everything that we said we were going to build, and they just got to be patient. We're going to be playing the long game on this. You know what I mean? 90% of all the projects, all the other projects have already rugged everybody. We're not going to do that. We're going to stay in the game, and as bad as it might get, if I have to pull connections from other places to make sure that this shit goes through, it happen. You know what I'm saying? I'll set my reputation on it too. That's the best thing I can say. That's it. Pretty much it.
right. Yeah, no, 100%. And if you guys didn't catch that, Tony said that he met with Darren earlier today. They were on a call, and regardless of the market conditions, the game's still being worked on. We're still launching a token. It is honestly, guys, probably one of the worst times to launch a token. We're not gonna make as much money off of token taxes as we would like to launching in this market. And the chart isn't going to necessarily be, if it was in a bull run right now, the chart isn't going to be as healthy as it could be in a bull run. That doesn't mean that the chart has to be ugly, but everyone needs to understand that right now the market conditions do look rough. And Tony talked about some of the biggest NFT projects are suffering from these market conditions. I think Bored Ape took almost a near 50% retrace recently, and they had a small little correction, but they're still down. Everyone's down. And that affects a lot of things, not just your guys' money, but all these projects, these NFT projects you're investing in, that affects their excuse me, that affects their development. A lot of these projects like pay everything through Ethereum. If they lose, 30% of their budget all of a sudden, that puts a damper into things. So we're still working, and that's not going to change. The game's still being worked on. Um, this token, the good news is we have staking coming, and even if the token price, doesn't have a lot of positive movement for a while, if you guys are staking your NFTs and you're earning tokens, when we do have the market kind of come bounce back, you'll be sitting on more tokens. And although legally, we can't talk about the value behind the token, and that people can make money off of that. The reality is that the token is paired to Ethereum. And I'm just gonna mute Tony for a second. Tony, can you mute up? You got some background noise. Um, the token is paired to Ethereum, and Ethereum is a volatile currency, more stable than low market cap coins. However, it does fluctuate in price. So when Ethereum comes back up, theoretically the price of ammo can also follow that trend, and it typically will, as with any altcoin. So altcoin that's paired to Ethereum at least. So that being said, if you guys have more tokens, you're going to be sitting in a better position. Not only that, but while you're waiting for the game, there's not really anything else to do with your NFTs unless you're somebody that flips and buys all the time. Then you wouldn't necessarily bother staking them because you'd have to unstake to be able to sell and all that. But you have that coming forward. The tokens we're going to continue to try to add utility. We know down the road that's going to be used for in-game uses such as customizing your character potentially. We're looking at buying crates at a discount with tokens, and a few other things down the road, as well as that is going to be the currency that you get for your staking. So you'll also earn ammo that way, and then if you'd like to take that earned ammo token and put it into some of the utility we have, or sell part of it to pay yourself back for your staking or something like that, those are the options that'll be available to you. um you guys shouldn't feel like you have to buy the token, but the token is there as an added uh possibility of making some sort of gains from the project and being involved in the ecosystem of Warrior Alliance. um I should probably state that anything that I say in terms of the project right now are my own opinions for legality's sake, because of the fact that we're talking about securities and assets right now, and dealing with an IGO. But excuse me. That being said, there is multiple ways that you are going to be able to earn income through Warrior Alliance. We've talked about play to earn. We've talked about renting NFTs, staking, and now a token. And although the initial use of the token isn't so that people can trade it and make a lot of money off of the token, this isn't going to be a pump and dump coin. This is going to be a long sustainable token that ties along with the Warrior Alliance game. As long as Warrior Alliance is a thing, the token should still hold value to the people involved in the ecosystem. Obviously, the goal for everyone involved is to be early to that, and that to last a very long time. As the game grows in popularity, hopefully we see more adopters of people buying into the NFTs. We know that there's going to be a free to play version of the game as well. The goal is, yeah, we'll probably have avenues of making money for Warrior Alliance, um, as a brand or company through the free to play side of the game as well. There will probably be some options available for us to make money on that side as well. But we're really going to be trying to push people into the NFT side to where, okay, you know what, you're somebody that's good at the game. You've played the game for a few months. You really like it. Well, now you should get an NFT so you can start making money while you play the game. And that's the goal. And when we see more people adopting that side of it is when all the people that have been day one supporters, have been earning ammo from staking, and have multiple NFTs at low entries, are going to really see the benefits. And I think everybody understands how that works, and it's not going to be like I said, a pump and dump, or a sprint and then a crash. We're trying to build something sustainable. We're trying to build a fun, competitive game that people want to play, that is going to exist for many years. And that's why I think why all of you guys are still here sticking around is because you believe in that vision too. Now I know sometimes the communication could be a little better on our end. Some of you guys might feel like there isn't development going on when we're quiet, but that's not the case. Of course, things are still being worked on. It's just some things put others on hold. So, for example, sorry about that. For example, the token. Obviously, we were waiting on the token details for a while, waiting to hear back from lawyers, but the game was still being worked on. And now we have the token. We're preparing to launch that public in the next few weeks here. The game's still being worked on the back end, but we don't necessarily have, like, we're not working on demigods yet, for example, but that's still coming too. So just because there's steps that we need to take to reach the next milestone, doesn't mean that things aren't happening. So keep that in mind. We are a very small team, and we didn't do anything malicious to inflate numbers and cause more people to buy than should have. Everyone here, for the most part, should be, somebody that understands that this is going to be a more of a long-term project. This isn't going to be an NFT you buy and flip in a few days and then you're on to the next. We want people here that are going to support us and stick around in the long term, and that will only benefit you guys. So that part is something I just wanted to touch on. Um, I talked to Tony a little bit about. We had a question about the mint rewards. I don't know if you're still listening, Tony. Did you want to touch on, if your mic will work, what you are thinking
Here.
about doing? Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we're going to be we're going to be giving at least 20 to 30% of all of the rewards. So that was supposedly 10, 10, 10, 10. So we'll probably be giving 3, 4, 3. Uh, and those random counties. So we'll be giving 3 for now. That's when the market gets better and like do our next launch or whatever, maybe we'll give another 2 or 3. So this I'm gonna
Okay,
go ahead and take some of those rewards.
your mic's. I heard part of it. I heard your mic's messing up again, but yeah, so we plan to give away 10 of the brass knuckles and everything. So Tony said that we're going to be probably giving away 2 or 3 of each of those just to give back to you guys. Obviously, we didn't meet the milestones that were required to really give those away. But Tony has them. We'd like to give some of them away to you guys, early supporters, and then we'll hang on to the rest for maybe some uh future rewards, maybe from the token or something down the road. So no details on exactly how we're going to give them away yet, so just know that that is something we're going to be working on. I see a hand from AJ the Great, so I'll go ahead and right now bring you on up if you'd like to ask a question. You just got to unmute your mic, AJ, and then you can speak.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. You got a question?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I didn't. You guys could have kept going. I kind of just wanted to wait till the end to ask the questions. So, I mean, if you
You're
want me
fine.
to ask, I can, but
Go ahead. Yeah, you can ask.
just give me 1 second. I got to plug my headphone back in. I can't really hear you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. I guess my first question is I was talking with you a little bit in the Discord, and you were mentioning that the developer kind of went MIA. Is there a smart contract dev on the team currently, or is there plans to bring on a new one? What's happening with that?
You might be referring to when I was talking about the web developer. So we had a front end developer and we have a back end developer. Our back end developer for our website does all the Web3 integration. He's also our developer that has built the gas efficient contracts. He does all of our blockchain development, and we'll be working with the game dev to make sure everything works with our smart contracts. So he's not MIA. Our front end web developer, who was just brought in through connections through people involved in the team. Just hasn't been around or working on the site at his own will. So we got the files to now do the editing ourselves. So we don't have like a official front end web developer right now, and that's why if you go to our website, some of that stuff is outdated. So that's stuff we just have to either find someone new or do it ourselves. So I apologize for the confusion on that. We still have our back end Web3 developer.
Okay, thanks. That's definitely better to hear than no developer. So my next question is there any short-term plan to grow the community? I know that, when we were before Mint, you guys really pushed to get new Discord members and, Twitter, but ever since then it just kind of fell off and we've been pretty stagnant. So just
Sure. So I can't speak for, what everyone on the team has planned. However, what I know that we have going on, for one, we didn't want to do a ton of marketing when we didn't have anything new coming, right? We were waiting on Token. We didn't know exactly when Token was going to launch. We had a lot to deal with legal. There was no point in marketing because people would come in, and we certainly didn't have an exceptional amount of buy pressure on secondary sales for our NFTs. In fact, we turned off minting because it would have just continued to hurt floor. And although it would have been great for us, we could have slowly been chipping away and making a little bit more money each day if we sold NFTs for a mint. We were looking, excuse me, we're looking out for the community and our early adopters, and wanted to help, put an end to the ability to drop floor price further by allowing more NFTs to be minted when there isn't necessarily any more demand. So growing that, knowing that there wasn't a lot of buy pressure on secondary sales, and marketing for, an upcoming token launch when we didn't really have any further details at the time, didn't seem like a good use of funds, especially because, like I said, we didn't mint as many as we anticipated. That puts a damper on the funds that we raised for game development, paying our team, paying our web developer, our back end developer, getting everyone, paid for their time, and then, making sure that the game can be paid for and developed, and then, marketing money as well. So there's certainly a lot of expenses, and we don't want to use what we have foolishly. So marketing when we don't really have anything to proceed with didn't make much sense. However, we do have some
Josh,
marketing. Oh,
Josh, let me intercede. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Let
I can
me
hear you.
interject real quick. Yeah. So this is the thing with the marketing aspect, right? Right now, if we spend a lot of money or we spend money on marketing on the short term, do you think the marketing would be, let me ask you a question, do you think that it would be something similar to the way that the market is right now, the crypto market was? So if I market right now, let's say we spend 50 grand on it, and now everything is tanked, and I was looking at the Discord and Luna tanked. Pretty much they got ways of work, but everything right now is through the spending 50 grand.
Your mic's still horrible.
so if I may,
Um,
I can't really hear exactly what Tony's saying, but I get the point. Like I know there's really no point to go and drop a lot of money on marketing. One point that I've made in the Discord is having these meetings and Tony talks on Twitter, because on Twitter it's free marketing. Our followers would join in on these talks. Instead of having 40 listeners right now, we could have 100 or 150, and maybe we only get 20 new members, but that's more than what we're doing now. And so that's kind of where I was leading with that question.
Can
Is
you hear me?
a little better.
Can you hear me?
right now we can, and then probably in your next sentence we won't be able to.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, good. So that's the whole point. The short-term thing, I'll be straight up with you. There is really no short-term marketing right now, just because we cannot waste money on marketing when the crypto market and NFT market is through the floor. The goal is to play the long game, build the game, make it a badass game, build good characters, and then once we have that up and running and people are enjoying the game and it's all great and dandy, then we'll get a good marketing campaign going on that sense and push the game itself and do exactly what we were planning to do regardless of the matter, right? We have to wait till this market goes up some Because right now, with everything in the floor, it'd be worth it to spend more money on marketing. You feel me?
So, Tony, when you kind of disconnected for a moment there, your mic kind of cut out. AJ said that not necessarily spending money. I think he understands that right now it wouldn't make much sense with the bearish market we're in right now to pay for marketing. It would be a waste of money because most people don't have extra funds with the market crashing right now. So bringing in new
Is
investors.
that what he was asking, or is that? Yeah.
I think he agreed with you in that sense, but
Okay. Okay.
one thing that AJ, we were actually gonna try to move it to Twitter this week, but we didn't have enough time to set it up, and as you can see, Tony's still having audio problems, so um, we do plan on moving these Tony Talks to Twitter. I know we've done them on Twitter in the past, not the Tony Talks, but AMAs we've done on the past, and sometimes we get an equal size turnout. It hasn't like significantly increased anything, but I do know what you're talking about, how it broadcasts to, when somebody gets on the speakers panel, it broadcasts to their followers. So absolutely, that's something that we want to play with. It's definitely a little foreign to our community. Not a lot of our community members, in the past at least, expressed that they were familiar with Twitter Spaces, but I think it's something that we'll be trying in the future, as well as if you're involved in the NFT space at all, you're probably very familiar with seeing, communities do collabs. And one thing that we never want to do is collab with, just bombard you guys with collabs of useless projects. But one thing we are looking to do is network with some, well established or at least, solid projects like ourselves that aren't necessarily, the largest as far as following goes, but have a solid team behind them and are continuing development, even through, poor market conditions. You'd be surprised how many projects I've seen recently send announcements to their community saying that development is going to slow down with the current market conditions. And like, I get it, but at the same time, that's kind of a shitty thing to do to people when you're working and everything's good when they're making money, and then all of a sudden they have a week of some tough times in the market, and they tell their whole community that development is like stopping for the time being, which I don't know. I just don't agree with that approach. So we're looking for solid projects like ourselves. There's a few we're putting feelers out there for, and we've even reached out in the past and asked the community to, in more than one instance, ask the community to let us know of any projects that they might be involved in, whether they're on the moderation team or they just are very engaged in their community and think that they'd like to bring up Warrior Alliance as a potential AMA collab or something like that. So we're going to continue to explore those options. We didn't get a lot of in the past. I'm not going to say we didn't get some people offering that, but that was back when we were really working out the excuse me, the details of the token and weren't ready to do any AMA collabs or anything like that. Tony was tending to a lot of IRL stuff and had some personal things going on, so we weren't doing AMAs for a while. But we're getting back into that gear. Obviously, we're here, and token launch is coming. The public sale of the token will have marketing, so there's still stuff coming. 100%.
I've been a little hesitant to do collabs. I'll be honest with you, especially right now, because a lot of the NFT projects that we had done collabs originally, they've all been rugged. All of them, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I hate to bring like do a collab with somebody and then expose you guys to that project, and then a month later they get fucking rubbed. You know what I'm saying? That really scares me a lot because some of the shit that we did before they got rubbed, and I mean, yeah, maybe they didn't get rubbed like maliciously, but the project just didn't fucking make it. You know what I mean? They didn't sell enough entities. They didn't, and then they didn't do their due diligence, and they ended up losing the whole entire project. And from one day to the next, the fucking project leader or the president just fucking stops coming on, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm out." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I,
I
I
don't want
definitely
to
hear you.
expose you guys. Yeah, AJ. So that's why another reason why, like in this time right now, this is where you're really gonna see what projects make it out of this hole. Like when the projects that come out of this fucking hole that we're in right now, those are the projects that are going to be successful in the next year, 2 years. I don't know how long it's going to take for this whole, for this bear market to fucking. It may take 6 months. It may take a year. I don't know. And anybody that tells you they know, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're fucking full of shit. They're full of shit. because shit's really bad right now. I mean, here in the United States, you can't even get them baby formula. You know what I'm saying? The inflation, the prices in gas just went up 30%. You know, everybody's fucking feeling it in every aspect, whether it's a dollar, whether it's NFT, or whether it's crypto. So any guy that says, "Oh no, it's gonna come back up," and here and here, fucking thank you, bro. Nobody really knows when it's gonna change. The only thing that any project can do right now is put the head down, keep working, and keep the project afloat until the light at the end of the tunnel comes on, and then head towards that light. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep working,
You
and I'm gonna
sound you sound horrible again, Tony.
fuck learn again. Okay. We're gonna keep
Well,
working until the end of the tunnel. That's the hard part. We're gonna keep going until we get into this fucking. We're not going anywhere.
so I caught the majority of that, and I appreciate the response. I have two more questions, I think, and then I'll be done. So
Shoot.
with the market in the dumps, as we all know, what was the strategic idea or plan to dropping the token now? Why not wait, a little bit, saying that we are still so far out from the game even being testable? Yeah, that's my question.
Okay, so great question actually. There it's two-sided, right? So ideally if we really wanted to have the healthiest chart possible, sure we would wait until like the beginning of the next bear run or bull run and launch the token then. However, we've been working on this token for so long, and one thing that a lot of people are waiting for is staking rewards. So it wasn't an easy decision to make on like launching the token in this market because obviously it's not going to be the best thing for chart growth, I guess you could say. However, the community that's been here has been here for a very long time, would like to be able to use their NFTs for staking. I think the general consensus I got from the community is it wasn't so much people uh, you know worried about making a ton of money. They just want to be able to start staking and do something with their NFT. So that they've already, a lot of them, saw the opportunity they could have sold months ago and made profit that way. At the very least, they'd like to be able to stake their NFT. So that's why we did this pre-sale and offered such a good entry for our NFT holders, is because it'll be very difficult for anyone that buys pre-sale to lose money in the chart, as long as obviously there's people that will sell for losses that can still make you lose money, but in theory you guys are getting the best purchase price in pre-sale, obviously being paired to Ethereum that can change. If Ethereum were to continue to fall another 50% and continue to drop, obviously that's going to affect our token price. However, we feel that Ethereum is a largely large market cap and widely used token enough to where even if that were to happen, with time that would rebound. So, we wanted to give people the ability to be able to stake and start earning something for their NFTs. We could honestly, we could be waiting another 6 months to a year for a bear, or excuse me, a bull market to return, and then at that point 6 months of has gone by, and people could have been earning yield on that, even if the chart isn't necessarily skyrocketing up and mooning. People could have been earning some tokens along the way for staking their NFTs. So that's kind of why we want to launch it, is to let people start earning that, as well as nobody can predict when the reversal is going to happen. So we could be sitting here for, it could be a month, it could be a few weeks, it could be 6 months, a year. Who knows how long it'll take for the bull. If anyone could predict the bull market, be my guest. You would be the richest man in the world if you could predict that. However, nobody knows when that's coming. So it's unfortunate times to launch the token, but at this point, waiting, it's a 50-50 on whether or not that's going to help waiting or just continue to delay things.
Fair enough. Um, can you speak on the, if any, the development on staking? Like, what is this already being, worked on? Um, is this something that we can, expect, relatively soon, or?
Yeah. So, staking is the development for that is pretty much done. Um, what we are waiting for is to, you know, fully test it, stress test it, make sure there's, it's all secure, no vulnerabilities there, and publish some um literature, some Medium article on the actual details of staking, what those yields look like. We need to I'm not the one that's like actually managing that timeline. However, I don't know if we're gonna have the supply boxes go on sale before we allow staking, or if it's gonna come slightly after, so the people that already have a box, can start staking immediately, and everyone else that doesn't have one might have to wait for an extra week or two for the boxes to come out for purchase. Because you do need a box to pair with your NFT. So there's a few more pieces of the puzzle we're waiting on, but it's not anything like people are going to be waiting months for staking. That's why we're launching this token, is we're looking to really do this in the short term. In the next, I would say I would expect us to have staking ready in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But if we're looking to do supply boxes, before that, then perhaps we'll see another week added on that or something like that. But I would expect within the next month, from what I've seen, we should see staking become available to people.
Awesome, thanks. Real last, I think, thing. So, I'm a gamer myself. I listened in. I didn't wasn't in on the last Tony talk, but I watched it after, and I was really excited to see the development of what Tipping Toast has been working on. It looks great so far. Um, my last, I don't know if it's really a question, but my last thing is, again, I'm a gamer, but not everyone that holds a Warrior Alliance NFT is a gamer. So is there any concern that before the game, or like when we launch, if we aren't doing any kind of trying to organically grow the community, is there any concern that the project, I'm not doubting Tony or anyone behind the team, but is there any concern that the project fails before it even gets started? With only maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people, if we even have that are actual avid gamers, I don't think that that's really gonna hold us up. But that's just my final thing. I don't know if you guys want to respond back to that or what, but thanks.
Sure.
Expensive.
I know Tony wants to jump in here, but Tony, we still can't really hear you.
Can you hear me?
Not really.
Can you hear me?
No.
Understand why this fucking thing's
Does it work better if you turn off your headset and put it on speaker?
no, the thing is that it doesn't even work on speaker. That's the fucking problem.
Well,
Hold on.
you can hold it up to your ear, and the speaker you should be able to swipe up. There's like, when you're looking at the stage, you can swipe up, and then you get the ability to change audio.
Is it connected one? Hold on, hold on. Might have a connection on there. I have a connection to the phone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me better?
It does sound a little bit better.
Yeah. I was able to get some headphones that are actually connect to the actual phone itself. Now I just gotta turn these other ones off. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, it's a lot better now.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, good. I wanted to respond to that. Our biggest marketing campaign, I could tell you right now, is most likely gonna come right before the game is launched. It's gonna be before the actual game launched. You gotta realize, man, this is a two-part ordeal. This is a play to earn and free to play. At the end of the day, my whole goal was to do both of them and connect the two worlds together. And that's what I wanted to do from the get-go. So once Geeks and Gamers comes on, because they're still on board with us 100%, they run that space. They got 40 streamers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about Warrior Alliance going anywhere in regards to only 1,000 people or 2,000 people. I know for a fact that if the game is a great game and people love to play the game, it's going to get the notoriety that it needs. And with Geeks and Gamers pushing the game through all the channels that they have, we're not going to have an issue. We just have to make sure that the game is going to be a unique game that people love to play with great graphics, right? Great functionality, great gaming, and all that. If we can accomplish that, which I know we can, I'm not worried in the long run. I know that it's going to be successful, right? Now, the NFT portion of it and the play to earn portion of it, right? That is going to be where you guys come in, and you guys are going to be the original people, and you guys are the ones that are going to be able to get all the fruition from it. Because when the game becomes successful on the free to play, people are going to want to make money off the game once they realize how good the game is. You feel me? And that's when everything is going to go up. So I have a master plan that I'm obviously not going to divulge on it when it comes to the marketing or spec, concept of it. But believe me when I tell you, all of my marketing chips are going to be all thrown into the game once this game is. We have a badass game with some badass graphics and functionality. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I trust me. As I said, the last Tony Talk, seeing the game in the current state, I was hyped. So
And that listen, and when this is the beginning, bro. That environment isn't even. It's not even close to being finished. That was just like the first level of texturing, and those characters like the first level of characters, So believe me when I tell you, the functionality of the game, the graphics of the game, I will not allow anything less than Call of Duty type style, Gears of War type style stuff. And that you have my word on it, because my character will be either as good as Call of Duty or better than Call of Duty. You feel me? I
yeah,
will not settle for
okay.
anything less. So trust me when I tell you, man. There's not a lot of things I know in this world, but marketing them, the social media world, and marketing in the social media world, I'm very, very good at. And over the last decade that I have, been doing this with Geeks and Gamers on the back end of this, and their influence and my influence on the social media side, bro, we're gonna crush it. We're gonna crush it. So I hope that puts your mind at ease.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling a lot better than I have been in the last few days. Just I guess a final. Well, thank you for the response. I still truly do believe in you guys, and I hope that we will be successful. My last, I guess, suggestion would be, can we maybe get somebody? I know Josh is always in the Discord, and I think I'm gonna botch his name, but Norris is always in the Discord answering questions. But sometimes there's a pretty long period of time before some actual answers are given. So maybe if we could just get somebody that is more attendant to that. But that's it. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna step down. I'll be
Just to
listening.
let you know, if you have any questions or somebody has a legitimate question, like a concern, bro, write to Josh personally. And if Josh cannot answer, Josh will ask me and I will give you the response in a timely manner. The issues that, and I've said this before, when we were in the beginning stages of Warrior Alliance, I literally put all of my companies and all of my businesses on a back burner for fucking 7 months. And they all took a hit. Every single one of them. Right. I was in Discord every single day, putting my time and being in the trenches with everybody, right? In the beginning for like 7 months. Uh, Obviously, this game, regardless of how much money we make or how much money we plan on making, all this stuff, if we can't make the amount of money, then I'm gonna be the one supplying the money. If it makes you understand, right? So to make this game, to make sure that it comes out the way it comes out, if I have to put the money and make the money to make it, then I will. The only problem with that is if I'm constantly putting all of my time into Warrior Alliance and my other companies suffer, then I won't be able to support Warrior Alliance with the other companies that I have. I want to let everybody understand that, so they understand the end game for this, right? At the end of the day, Warrior Alliance comes from real world tactical, and every other business that I have. So for Warrior Alliance to become successful, no matter what bear market we're in, no matter what industry, how bad crypto is, how bad it is, real world tactical has to be successful. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be times where I'm not gonna be in Discord. Why? Because I'm making moves somewhere else. I'm doing shit somewhere else to make sure that I have the money to fund Warrior Alliance, to make sure Warrior Alliance doesn't tank, right? And I won't allow it to tank, no matter what. I'll bust my ass doing whatever I got to do to make sure that it doesn't happen, you know. But in regards to answering questions at any point in time, if nobody's here, nobody's whatever, bro, just go straight to a DM or a private message. Hit Josh. Josh will fucking make sure the answer gets to you. If he doesn't do it, and then he'll ask me or somebody will answer it, and it'll get answered. You know what I mean? But if you just write in the Discord, sometimes the Discord moves, and if he doesn't see it, he doesn't see it. You feel me?
Yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying.
All right, AJ. I hope we answered your questions, brother. I
Yeah, man,
appreciate you.
everything's been answered. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, AJ. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Wheels here. He's been waiting a while. Wheels, welcome to the stage. You can just unmute and should be able to speak.
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah.
Still there, Wheels?
Hello? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So a couple questions. One is about the duration, the window of purchase for the tokens. I know you guys are putting a 1.5 to 2 weeks window on that, and I was wondering what's the, I guess, the theory behind having that window as far as having a cutoff on that for 1.5 to 2 weeks as opposed to something longer, or even shorter for that matter. I was curious about what the theory is for the window as far as getting it on the tokens, especially in respect to the current market.
Well, to be honest with you, when a lot of that was decided was like right before the market started crashing, and then we had to make a decision if we were going to proceed or not. And honestly, it's a dice roll on if the market's going to rebound or not. And so we opted to proceed with it. Now as far as like 1.5 to 2 weeks, that's just to give us some time to line up other things. We could have done it shorter, could have done it longer. At the end of the day, we do need to move into a public sale because this will be a publicly traded token, and that's good news for you guys because that means people don't have to hold NFTs and be involved in Warrior Alliance to see this token and want to participate in the trading of this token. So it's my understanding we have marketing lined up for the public launch of the token. I think things might be a little different than originally planned, obviously, because as we just said earlier, marketing in this market is not like the best use of funds. So we'll probably have to be very strategic about how we go about that. However, the reason we have to shut it off and not leave it on longer is just because we want to move into publicly traded token as well. There's obviously a whole other stream of potential buyers outside of Warrior Alliance that will see this token pop up on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko and other various sites that show newly listed tokens, and then that might be something where now they're involved in Warrior Alliance because they like the project, or maybe they just want to trade the token. So that's kind of the reason there. Does that answer your question a little bit?
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, and eventually you've got to cut it off to transition to the public sale. I get that. I know for a lot of people, and me included, there's a lot more sensitivity to throwing out the Ethereum, especially when it seems like everything is so red right now. And I think a lot of people are trying to, okay, I need to rob Peter to pay Paul so I can, get the Ethereum to purchase the ammo. And I think some people are just looking for time to do that, and kind of maybe hoping that some of the things turn around in the next week or two so that they can actually make those transitions. That was the basis of that question. So
Sure. And obviously we do listen to community feedback. Obviously, with us, bringing back the Genesis airdrops and all that stuff, like nothing is 100% set in stone. We have a plan, and that plan is that 1.5 to 2 weeks. But if there's
and that was a good
overwhelming.
thing, by the way, just so you guys know. I mean, that really shifted. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but that really did shift the morale, because
Yeah.
as you are probably well aware, prior when this started coming to a head, you could just see you could see it, the train wreck happening. But when you guys stepped up and did that, there was a dynamic shift in the morale, and I think I speak for a lot of people in applauding you guys for going back and doing that.
Well, I mean, while we're on that subject, I'll say two things. One, we never plan to overpromise and underdeliver. Obviously, we don't want to take anything away. However, it almost felt when we were originally doing the numbers for what we could realistically afford without hurting our budget for what we need to develop right now. It just almost felt like laughable to airdrop people such a minuscule amount, and not only that, but it almost was a waste of money because if we were going to airdrop everyone and spend $1,000 airdropping everyone on gas fees, and then everyone gets $1, $2 in ammo tokens. It's like, well, what was it for? And maybe we should have had a little bit more dialogue in the community around that so they could understand our reasoning leading up to that and then help to shape the decision we made. But it certainly wasn't anything that we just decided to take it away. It was, well, you know what? I don't even think anyone's going to miss this $1 airdrop. But obviously, what we ended up doing is deciding that we wanted to give back to the community a little bit. Tony wasn't a fan of the fact that, we, we were upsetting the community. The airdrop obviously was something we originally promised. When you're working on something, like this for months, and especially in Tony's situation where he's dealing with multiple companies, there's so many different people handling different things on the back end. I know I said we're a small team, which is true, but I don't deal with deciding the tokenomics. That's mostly Julian's thing. So Julian doesn't necessarily always get involved with okay, what have we communicated and what was the community's response. He's more behind the scenes working on the logistics side of things. So there is room where somebody makes a decision and doesn't quite understand the weight that it might bear, or what's already been communicated, and now there's a confusion. So there was a little bit of a disconnect on, oh, well, I didn't realize like people were already expecting that. I thought that was, something that we had mentioned in the past, but I didn't know we actually put out there that we were doing it. Tony, obviously working on multiple companies, didn't wasn't fully up to speed on the fact that this is something that we promised, then we took it away, and now there's an uproar, and now we got to make a decision. As soon as everyone came together and we had that meeting, we all pretty much quickly agreed that it wasn't good to not do the airdrop, and we wanted to we knew we upset everyone. We didn't want to then just proceed and give everyone $1. So we dipped in and decided to spend a little bit more out of the funds we have, and that's why we decided to do that allocation of what a normal standard Freedom Fighter NFT would get as their allocation. We would airdrop that to Genesis. So it's not a ton of money, but it is certainly more than $1. I think it'll probably end up being around like $70 to $80 worth of ammo. Being at the best price, who knows? That could be fairly lucrative. Or it could just sit around that $70 to $80 for a while and just be extra tokens people can use for whatever exists in the economy of Warrior Alliance down the road. But I'm glad to see that everyone I don't mind. We got thick skin. We can take the heat when people are upset. And I'm glad that the community felt comfortable speaking up and was able to address that with us, because although complaining won't always get you your way in life. In situations where there's community involved and the community is here supporting this, and without the community, we really wouldn't be here. It's important that the community speaks up for the things that they're interested in and demand. However, my only advice would be make sure that the stuff that people decide to rally about is worth it, because there will be things that we, down the road that we have to still make difficult decisions and sacrifice things time in there, and not ever trying to make that something that we've already promised in the past. But when you're dealing with something where there's big budgets involved and we're producing something like that, there does come times where we do have to maybe backpedal a little bit and say, hey guys, I know we talked about this in the past. This might not be available for X, Y, and Z reasons. We'll try to avoid doing that as much as possible. But that being said, I'm glad we were able to get the airdrops done for everyone, and it's something that I'm glad the community was understanding, and the FUD is over with, because that was a rough night. I know Tony was already having a long day, so we hopped on a call, and here we are. I'm glad
Yeah. Well,
everyone is excited
I
about
think,
it.
like you said, the community is very, and from my observation, the community is very forgiving. I think most people, most genuine people who are in here understand that this is the long game. And I think there's a lot of understanding in what's going on behind the scenes that we don't see. I think the key is just, instead of, talking about things or putting things out in the general chat that's from the head shed, from you guys, it should be in an announcement, because I know that Julian had said, and I actually had to search it in the general chat to actually find where he had made a comment about where they were not going to do the drops. And I'm like, this could have been an announcement and it would have saved a lot of headaches there. And I think that, as far as the communication is concerned, as long as there's communication, I think you'll find that everybody here is very forgiving and very understanding, and very realistic as what they don't understand what's going on behind the scenes, just as long as they're not caught off guard. And I think that's what happened last night. Is I think a lot of people were caught off guard, and just completely blown away, because the only understanding or mention of this really was just in general chat from weeks and weeks ago, from if anything, an obscure comment from Julian. So
Sure. So that's good feedback. I will say a long time ago we had a channel up that had all the rewards for the tiers, and what it was going to give you down the road, and we took it back because we didn't feel like we were in a position to leave that up and guarantee a lot of that at this stage. So it was pulled down for revision, and since hasn't gone up. And I think that's where a lot of the confusion came from. Is that's something we thought we took down a long time ago. However, we spoke on it with an announcement a long time ago about how we took it down because some things may need to change. We don't know what's changing yet. So when we came around time, like, I'll be honest with you, I personally don't remember what uh was actually stated in an announcement after the fact that we took away airdrops. Or there's a lot of stuff that we never explicitly stated was taken away. We just kind of blanketly said we had to take it down for revision. So obviously we want to try to deliver on everything 100%, and we're gonna do everything we can to do that. um and I like to just move past the whole airdrop thing, because it's not, if we can deliver on everything, and obviously we're going to be very careful going forward to not state anything that we don't think we can deliver on, and that was never the intention here. Just early stages, growing pains of putting out what we had a long plan and ambition for on the project, and then realizing down the road that it's not as simple as it always seems. It's not always cookie cutter. Let me bring Tony back up here. But it's in the past at this point. Hindsight's 2020. So
yeah,
uh,
I'm with you, and I'm moving on from it. Again, for me personally, I wasn't. I'm not delving into it. It was just more of an observation. But
sure.
moving on. Here's my next question. So, in respect, and I understand that y'all have not put out details yet in regard to the staking aspects and all the details on that. But is the platform on which we're going to be staking, is that going to be on the Warrior Alliance site, or is that going to be on a different platform altogether?
I
Or
believe
can you
that's.
answer that?
I mean, like I said, I'm not the one that's directly involved with that. I believe the staking will be done directly through our protocol, our whole builder site. Um, that whole side of the website on the builder side of warrioralliance.io. I believe we'll have our own staking protocol. I believe that's what's already built for the most part, is nearly finalized. So I have not heard any discussion of using a third party protocol for staking.
Okay. So here's my question: Are we going to, or is the platform going to be audited?
Like our whole protocol on Warrior Alliance having a like a CERTIC audit or something like that.
Yeah, especially in regard to, I guess, the staking, because I know that a lot of big people, when they look at places to invest or to stake, they look to see if it's been audited, if the platform's been audited, and I just didn't know if that was something that was even applicable here, just based on the platform, or if it's something that you guys had talked about or considered.
Julian, I see you joined the stage.
Yeah.
Do we have any
Sure.
plans for an audit?
Okay, so listen. Sorry, I was up all night. Just so you guys know, this crash affects me too. I have a company that essentially, is in the market, and we own a significant amount of. We were big in the Terra ecosystem, so it's kind of been a massive headache for me. The last day, just so you know, so that's why I'm a little bit late here, just because I've been dealing with that issue. It's fine. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, headache. So, to your question, I've been here for about 10 minutes listening. So the first thing, staking regarding auditing the contract. We can find like random companies to audit it, but just so you know how it works in this space is basically the bigger the name in the business, it's just the more you have to pay to get approved. None of the audits are ever really that real per se. Like for example, everybody knows the big name Certec. Anyone can get a Certec review, but it costs $50,000. So, if the community is like, we really want an audit of that, and we don't want to save the $50K to spend on the game, funding the game, then we could do it. But I think it's going to be a waste of $50K. I think we can do an audit later if the launch goes really well and crypto bounces back a bit and we get a decent amount of holders in here, and the price has some movement to it. Then I think we'll have some more funds and we can consider doing something like that as soon as possible. But last I checked, something like a Certec audit costs $50,000.
Yep.
There's other like lesser companies that people haven't really heard of and don't trust as much that they'll just give you a stamp. They don't actually check anything, just so you know, but you can pay like $2,000. So we can do it, but I'm just letting you know most of it's smoke and mirrors.
Okay. No, I hear you. I was just thinking that from a maybe perhaps even a marketing standpoint, to
Yeah,
get
it's
in,
mostly about
to get
marketing.
people in. Yeah.
Yeah, and just so you know, anything related to marketing costs money. That's all that matters in this
Understandably.
space. So, if you want to be listed on something like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap really fast, you pay between $20,000 to $50,000 to make that happen in a day. If you want to do it the free route, it might take 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'm not sure. Maybe it's faster now because there aren't as many coins coming out. But from my experience launching, being involved in coins in the past, it's all about how much money you can throw at other people.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Those were my questions, and I appreciate you guys fielding. Thanks so much.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem, Wheels. Thanks for your questions. I do want to add one thing to what Julian said. So, like, the audit does give some people a peace of mind because a lot of times they'll publish like a document that says, chapter 1. They talk about the team and the research they found on the team. If they do like a real full audit, not just a smart contract audit, where they do a full audit on the project and they look at the team and team is docs, they get a stamp of approval in that section and then they move on, and socials have existed more than, a month, that this is, established at this point. They kind of give stamps of approval and then they do the security audit for the contract and all that. A lot of that stuff, I think most people have done on their own. They know that our socials, are legit. The team is legit. The part that I think might give like the big investors that are moving thousands and thousands of dollars through our protocol some peace of mind if they're used to looking for those audits would be like that security protocol stuff. And maybe at least in the time being, we can. It might not be as easy as it sounds, but maybe we can get Toby, our dev, on at some point in the future to talk about some of the security aspects that are in place behind the scenes, and just to put some people's minds at ease while we wait for the opportunity for an audit, if that's something the community really wants. I do know that Toby's very experienced in the field, does rigorous testing. I feel confident that security is not a concern. However, he probably knows a lot about common vulnerabilities that he can speak to and how we're protected from those. So maybe that's something that we can visit down the road. No promises there, but an audit, as Julian said, can be very expensive, and I don't know if it's the best use of funds right now, simply because a lot of the things that they check and you pay for them to check on you are things that at this point I think most people don't need the reassurance that our Twitter has existed more than a month and that Tony is actually Tony and things like that. So I hope that helps.
Right. Yeah, cool. All right, thanks, guys.
No worries.
And regarding the question on staking, we'll be coming out with an article shortly on that. Sometime this week is the plan to come out with the article regarding the token and the NFT staking. As I stated in the other article, which was about the tokenomics, we stated at the end there are future articles coming. We already came out with the Chainlink article, which describes how we're going to handle the supply box mint. And then the next article we're going to come out with will be all about NFT staking and token staking.
Yes, thank you, Julian. I wanted to bring Snapdragon on up. He's been waiting a while. It wouldn't be a Tony talk without Snapdragon coming on up to the stage. He's server muted, probably because the last time we did something, he had his mic unmuted. Let's see here. That's a pain. Give me a second. Sorry, Snapdragon. I had to move you around so I could remove your server mute.
Oh, it's all cool. I got you now. Hold on. Let me put it on speaker real quick. Okay. So yeah, I had a couple of questions. First off, I haven't heard anybody ask. I think I asked you one time, Josh, and you didn't have the answer. And to be honest with you, not a primary concern, but I was just kind of curious about it. So I'm hoping Tony can speak on it. But I'm kind of wondering when that fitness app's coming out because I need to get in shape before we even think about demigods here.
I've seen Tony mute and unmute his mic a couple times, so I'm going out on a limb saying maybe he's having audio problems again. Because he's been silent for a while and hasn't chimed in, so it's not like him.
Yeah, right. Okay, well then
I think he's coming back.
Okay.
Technology's never on Tony's side.
Okay, well, Josh, while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and move on to the next thing I wanted to ask about.
Sure.
So do we know? Because I know y'all were talking about doing it similar to Neo Tokyo, with the boxes where you have to have them for the staking. Obviously, will they be like Neo Tokyo in the fact that they will have something inside of them? Not necessarily that we know what it will be at the time, whether it be the ammo or something else. Do we know if they will have something inside of them though?
It's my understanding that the answer is
We-
no.
Let me help. So that comes down to a technical dev issue, Snapdragon. So, the original goal was to include things inside the boxes. But we are concerned that there are going to be a couple technical hurdles, and we're thinking that better to prioritize at this time. Now, this is something I still need to talk about with Toby to see if we can 100% do it. But at this time, we're just looking at using the boxes as NFT staking multipliers. But we can always in the future take, for example, a snapshot of all the boxes and then essentially create free claims for weapons and ammo where you could get them based on your box tier. I'm just not sure about if you can essentially like reveal the box, and once you reveal it, inside there will be other items, especially since we have certain boxes that have already been released. So I have to talk to Toby about that. The main
Okay.
concern was about getting the pre-sale going and making sure the majority of the staking platform was getting done. Because the staking that we're doing is, believe it or not, pretty complicated and not something that is commonly done. So it's been a lot of dev work, and we've just been trying to prioritize all of that over anything additional, just to make sure that we can deliver on those core features. Especially considering the current market state. So just that's kind of where we're at with that. Hopefully that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, that's completely understandable, and do not blame me at all. That's a great answer. I mean, I completely agree, and yeah, it's definitely something that can be looked at down the road. It's not a priority by any means. Tony, since you are back on, I don't know if you heard my question, but I was wondering about the fitness app. If we're gonna see that anytime soon, because I went in the App Store and it's still not there, and I mean, I need to get in shape before these demigods come out, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. Finally, thank God. Gone through 3 different freaking headphones in the last like 10 minutes. I've been trying to talk this whole time, and my damn shit doesn't work. Okay, yes, the app. I actually have this entire week. I'm with the developer of the app, finishing it up. It should be done by June 1st. So that'll be ready by this coming up month. I'm pushing as hard as I can. Every morning, I'm meeting up with the guy and working out the kinks and all that stuff for the app. So that should be good to go pretty soon. It's
Sweet,
almost there.
sweet. So I'm not gonna need like a tractor tire in my backyard though, because I mean I know you're a strong guy, but I mean I don't see a tractor tire in my future anytime soon.
No, no, no. We have. I'm gonna have. I mean, all the programs on there. There's gonna be programs for beginners, programs for bodybuilding, programs for in the house. If you don't have a gym, things that you could do with bands, things that you could do with basic weights. So you're gonna have a little bit of everything there. This app's gonna be like, bro. I've literally spent the last how many 1 month? We like 6, 7 months building this app. Um, you're gonna be able to calculate everything, all your weights, everything. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a really good app. I have videos for every single exercise. It's just gonna be very, very immersive, and that's why it's taken a little bit longer. Just because I wanted to really make it to the point where it's like it shows you everything, and you're literally interactive with with that app all the time. So that'll be
Oh,
done
that's
soon.
really cool, man. That sounds awesome. Like that's really top tier, next level. That's kind of what I was hoping you were gonna do with it.
Yeah, man,
Try to
definitely.
look
I've
like
been
you
just
by the time I send in my pics.
yes, sir. You'll be able to take pics on there. You'll be able to do some videos, upload them, do all kinds of stuff on there. So it's gonna be really cool.
And Josh, the last thing I wanted to touch on was I know you were talking about possibly with the staking coming out, the gen holders who already have the Genesis boxes, or just anybody who has Genesis boxes already, possibly being able to stake earlier. I personally would think that'd be a great idea for the Genesis holders, but I mean, if you don't, or if y'all don't do that, then you don't do that. It's not that big
Well,
a deal, but I think it's a great kickback to the holders.
keep in mind, you guys already got those for free as a Genesis holder, so
100%. That's
you
why
still
I'm
you still
not a
did
big
get
deal.
some sort of advantage. I don't know what the plan is. Julian might know if we're gonna launch the protocol before the launch of supply boxes, or if we're gonna do the boxes available for purchase and then staking comes the next week or something like that. But either way, Genesis, if you've been holding your Genesis, you are sitting pretty when it comes to those supply boxes.
Oh, 100%. I still got all mine. I ain't letting them go.
I see
That's all I
Julian
got. I
unmuted.
appreciate it.
I don't know if he had a comment to make about that.
I actually want to cover something that I tried to get on earlier, but I couldn't. This is for Wheels. About the drop. The drop that we made for the money, the token drop, whatever, giving them the airdrop. So for Wheels, I always try to put myself. I try to come out of the bubble, right? Because when you're part of the team, you're gonna have your perception of what is right and what is wrong. When you're the person holding the NFT, you're gonna have your perception of what's right and what's wrong. And what I always try to do is I try to put myself in the shoes of the holder, the NFT holder, or I would say the client, right, the consumer. And I try to get out of that bubble of being, the back end person, right? And at the end of the day, I always try to be as fair as possible. What's right is what's right, and what's wrong is what's wrong. So if you make a decision on something, I'm very, very rarely will you ever find that I will backtrack on something unless it's completely and utterly necessary. So if we said that there was going to be an airdrop and I come to find out that something happened that we couldn't get an airdrop and it's not fair, then even if we have to take a hit, I'm going to do the airdrop. You know what I'm saying? I don't know all the details of a lot of things that happen, right? Because I'm not a developer. I'm not a guy that knows about the articles like Julian does, and he runs a lot of the stuff. So, but I could tell you this: most of all the decisions, and I'm the first one to take every single blame for anything that has ever gone wrong in this project. I'm the first one to say, "Hey, it was my fuck up, my mistake." I have no issues with that. If I make a mistake, I'm human. I fucked up. And when it comes to the airdrop and all of that, there was a lot of confusion on there. I'm kind of glad that we didn't make it an announcement that we weren't going to do it. That it was just something that was said, because at the end of the day, when I found out about it and I realized how important it was for everybody, and considering the way the market is right now, that's why I made the final decision to say yes, we're going to do the airdrop, whatever we can afford. It's something that we're giving back, right? Uh, and that's what I wanted to do. At the end of the day, I had to show the community and to you guys that we're here for you. Even if it's $5, even if it's $10, it's something. We're still giving something back to you. We're not taking anything away. Um, Granted, you know, in the space, the people in this space are very, I don't want to say me, but they're very like, uh, very. If you do something good, it only lasts for a day or two, and then back again, they're gonna hit you with, oh, but what about this? Or but what about that? Or what about this? They're very impatient. That's what I was looking for. And I've come to realize that, right? Being in the space as long as I have, I think the whole team has. So we're still gonna always do things that are gonna be better for everyone in the long run. But if it's something like that where it's just not fair, then I'm always gonna, I always give my best to try to side with the community, and that's what we did. I hope you guys appreciate that and understand that, you know, we're never gonna do something with ill malice. If we take something away, it's because the truth is that we just don't have no choice to stay afloat, right? You know, there's a lot of hard choices that we're making right now, and like it may get worse. I don't know that. The bottom line is as long as we got our heads over the water, we're good. So that way like I said before, we can make it out of this fucking hole that everybody's in, And I'm gonna try my best, and the team is gonna try their best to make sure that we make it out of the hole, no matter what happens. But as long as we can give stuff back to you, then we're always gonna be able to give stuff back. And you always gotta think of that aspect of it, that our team never has any malice intentions. Our team is always, we got to give back to the community because they're the ones that hold, they're the glue that holds us together at the end of the day. And I want to say that to you, Wheels. I wasn't able to say that before, and I wanted just to touch base on that. I'm good. Said my spiel.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions, Josh?
I don't see any hands up. If anyone does have questions, now's your chance. Nobody in line yet. Julian's experiencing mic problems now, so it's not just you
Okay.
tonight, Tony.
Yeah. All right. Guys, just bear with us. We got this token stuff. We're gonna keep the pre-sale open, hopefully giving some of you guys that, a week or two. But I got a couple things up my sleeve for the public sale, and so does Julian. And I'm hoping that, we get enough liquidity that we can put a good marketing campaign for the token to put some money in you guys' pockets.
We
That's
got
the whole goal.
2 hands
Ben?
just came up. Gator 48. You can come up to the stage if you meant to do that.
Yep.
Okay, I'm back. Is it working now? Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah, you're
It
good.
sucks. So regarding the staking, there was a question about, will Genesis get the stake before the Freedom Fighters? No, they're not going to. Everybody's going to be able to stake at the same time. We're going to run the box sale, and then as soon as the box sale is finished, we'll activate staking. We're giving back to Genesis what we originally promised, and they will get free drops for almost everything. But we never promised that you're going to get the stake before everyone else. I mean, there's a we have to have a limit to how much we give to Genesis to avoid pissing off anyone that doesn't have a Genesis. You kind of have to find a nice balance, and we need to try to stick to what we promised before. And again, most of the stuff will be detailed out in the coming article.
Okay, Gator was up here, but he left. AJ, you asked Julian a question in general chat, but you're up here now, so you feel free to ask him.
Hey, yeah. So I was just wondering if you could touch on like how the staking is different.
Well, how many projects have you match a box with an NFT and then earn from combining those boxes and staking them that you know of?
I'm in a project right now currently that has a very similar model to that, and it's I mean, yeah, I understand that it's a lot of work, but I mean, I'm just wondering, like you said that it's different. I wanted to hear your reasoning on why it's different.
Then say like Neo Tokyo?
I wasn't referring to Neo Tokyo, no.
Okay. How exactly is it different? Well, I don't know this other project that you're talking about, so I don't know how it would exactly be different. I just know I don't know any projects other than Neo Tokyo that have done something like this. And after we discussed extensively with our dev about doing this, he said, "Oh, it's a lot of work," and we had to talk to him a lot to get him to agree to do this, because it's a lot of work on the dev side, and devs are not cheap at all, even a little bit. So, I guess say how it's different. I can't really say how it's different because I don't know what project you're in. All I can tell you is that the exact details of it will be released with the article that I'm coming out with. And then when that comes out, maybe just read that article and then you can compare to your other project.
Well, I only asked because I mean you specifically said that it was different, so I was just wondering like what you meant. How were you comparing art, the way you guys manage your
Let me
staking
see if I
compared
can
to
help.
others? And hold on, I'm sorry, Josh. One last thing. And I know that it's a lot of work. I'm a software developer myself. So my real question, I guess, is it because it's a lot of work, or is it because like uh, there's not enough funds to do that?
What do you mean by there's not enough funds to do what?
That makes the staking different, like what you're saying, because most of how a lot of projects do it now, I'm sure a lot of that code is open source code.
Well, hang on. Let me
I'm
just
sorry.
jump in here for a moment. So to start, part of what makes our staking a little different is a lot of this stuff is done on like a dual chain, off chain type thing, which a lot of people don't do. So being on Ethereum and keeping gas low, we have to have basically an off chain network communicating with Ethereum. So that adds a little bit of complication. Two, we have not just the NFTs being, the actual character NFTs being staking, but a pairing of the NFT warriors and the boxes, which we have multiple boxes of, which have different staking multipliers on top of it. So you have multipliers from the NFTs, multipliers from the actual boxes. Then it's all also off chain. So there's just a lot of dynamic pieces that at least maybe there is other projects that do this the exact same way, but I haven't seen one. I don't even know if I don't know what project you're talking about, but even if your project does something similar, you would have to, ask them if they do some sort of off-chain stuff and if there's, dynamic multipliers for the NFTs and whatever they're also pairing them with. In our case, it's supply boxes. So it's just a lot of, basically, if you were to take staking and then slowly add an additional layer that complicates it, that's kind of where we're at. We're not only is it off-chain, but we have different rates for different NFTs, and then you have a multiplier from different boxes, and I think that's what Julian was saying is why it's complicated and different. It's just I haven't seen anyone else that does it that way. Does that help,
All right.
AJ?
Yeah, thanks.
No worries. Gator is back. So let's see if we can get him up here for his question now. Welcome,
Can
Gator.
you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can't hear y'all.
You can't hear us at all? I think I know what happened. For those of you guys listening, when you guys join the stage, sometimes if you're on your phone and you're listening on speaker and then you join the stage, it takes you off speaker and you think you can't hear people, but really it's like coming out of your earpiece. So you have to actually change your audio device on your phone again back to speaker. And unfortunately, Gator can't hear me to tell him that. I'm not sure if you can hear me now, Gator. I'm looking through the member list here. Are you still in here? Did you leave? I don't see him in here. Oh, no, I do. Gator, if you can hear me, when you come up to the stage, you have to swipe up to open a menu. If you're on mobile, when you see that menu, you have an option to change audio or change output, whatever it says, and then you can select speaker on your device because by default, it's going to make it come through your earpiece, and that's why you can't hear us. Yeah, or alternatively, put it up to your ear like you're on a phone call. All right, let's see. We'll give him a second.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right.
All right. All right. My question is it's been mentioned that the box token box or the supply box launch would be possibly let me rephrase this. Okay. Possibly getting a supply box with the discount of the tokens. Can we get any confirmation on that? One.
It's something we're talking about. If we decide to proceed with it, it'll be in that Medium article that we're going to publish. But it's something we are really heavily considering for multiple reasons. One, those of you that have the token, it adds another utility that you can buy the boxes. It helps create a deflationary token as well because we can take those tokens out of circulation at that point. So there's a lot of reasons why it would be good for the health of the token. And if the money's going to be, Ethereum's going to be spent anyway, the small little discount that we can provide to everyone using tokens instead of Ethereum, would help you guys and wouldn't really hurt us too much. as far as like profit wise goes, and reinvesting that money we make off of the sale of the box. However, that's something we just got to clear with our dev and make sure us adding that on last moment isn't going to complicate anything, because it was going to be Ethereum. We were just going to keep it simple and just be an Ethereum purchase for the box, but I don't think it'll be terribly difficult to add the ability to purchase it with a token, and then to incentivize people to use the tokens and keep the demand of the token fresh and healthy, and as people buy new NFTs off OpenSea and they need boxes for them, that's going to continue to help keep, if they want the discount, they can buy the token and then save some money doing that. So we're thinking maybe around a 10% discount for buying with the token. So decent amount. I think it's a fair amount. That's kind of where we're at, but I'm not going to say it's like written in stone yet, because we got to clear with the dev. We'll publish it in the Medium article when we have everything finalized, though.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was wanting to find out, because I've kind of only got enough money to where I can either do one or the other. I can either buy tokens and get boxes with the tokens, or get the boxes with Ethereum. I can't do.
I understand. So what I would say is we are shooting to have the details on the Medium article for staking and all that before pre-sale ends. So if you'd like to wait and not purchase right away until you have a chance to review that article, that would probably be the best piece of advice. We're shooting to have that done before pre-sale ends. I don't think we are at a risk of selling out of our pre-sale allocation in this market, this current, just the nature of the market. If we were in a bull run right now, it might be a little different, but with where Ethereum's at right now, everyone is kind of in your situation, trying to make sure that wherever they put their money with Warrior Alliance, it's going to put them in the best position, and they don't want to necessarily put more money into extra money if they know that it's just going to be money they're sitting on right now in the project. So definitely Ethereum, yes, you'll be able to purchase it with, most likely tokens, but we will have an article being published very shortly.
Okay. That pretty much answers my questions. So.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on up. I don't see any other hands up, so I think at that point, Julian and Tony have had enough mic issues. I won't drag it out. You guys have been on with us for an hour and 40 minutes. I really do appreciate it. I know there's only 40 people in here listening right now, but I really do appreciate you guys coming and sticking around for an hour and 40 minutes. Not too often do you find 40 people willing to do that in these projects, especially in this market. I know you guys are interested and you're here for your own account and trying to figure out what's going on with Warrior Alliance, but still I see a lot of the same faces here every week, and it really does mean a lot to have your guys' support through all this. So continue to rock with us. I know it's been a long journey, even thus far. We're 7 months in, really, from when we opened the Discord, and you guys are still a lot of day ones in here. It means a lot to us. We're doing everything we can to bust our ass and make sure we deliver quality. Nobody here is a experienced veteran NFT operator that can do this with zero mistakes and never have any criticism and feedback. We're all human here, so as we navigate this, we're doing everything with your guys' interest in mind, and we're just navigating that, walking that boundary of what's best for the long term of the project and what's best for our early supporters and the people that have stuck around and been through the trenches with us. So as long as you guys continue to support us and show love and show up to these talks, retweet our tweets, help us grow our social medias, participate in community events and all that sorts, we can continue to keep pushing and grow this, even if it's at a slower rate than we'd all like to see. But either way, we're still going. Game development is coming along nicely. We're at the early stages of token launch, articles coming out on staking very soon. We're in a much better place than we were a few months ago, where it was just a lot of waiting. So I know it's been a long time coming for you guys. Really appreciate all the support. I'll go ahead and shut it down now, and we'll have this recording, if you missed any of it, up shortly tonight. And we'll be around in chat. Go ahead and ping me if you need anything in the meantime. Hope everyone has a good night. Thank you.